northmainfinancial.com. That's northmainfinancial.com.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Look, if you were hoping for the market to have gone down, you've come to the wrong place. We've broken the barrier. Average active list price of residential property in Mecklenburg County, $700,000. We've broken the barrier. It's up only if you already own a house. But if you sell it, you don't have anywhere to go. Well, I mean, you do. You just better be making more money that you can, buy up. I don't know if there's really there was the concept of downsizing. You can downsize. I don't know if you can necessarily down price. Maybe stay the same. Net neutral, I think they call that. Net neutral. Is it going to stop? Is it going to not go up any further anytime soon? I don't know. Jobs? Are we hearing of massive layoffs locally in North Carolina? I know PayPal. I know UPS. We have a lot of those drivers around here. I mean, my guy's still the same. That delivers to the house. I don't think was it a particular territory where UPS let go? What was it, 12,000? I don't know. It was a lot of people. Does it seem like jobs are lessening around here? More trucks moving. Shout out to the Junker property. Everybody who voted for somebody else in the previous election because they didn't like that project got approved. It's still happening. I mean, that's like, I know it sounds mean. It sounds mean, but there's it's also true. It's also fact. It's happening. Junker doesn't really bother me as much as compared, and it's not that it bothers me. Let me be clear. The visual aesthetics of all of it, of Junker, don't bother me. The Nance Road extension and the massive triangle-like parcel that's been demoed. God, where's PETA? Shouldn't they be mad at all the trees? Is it PETA that does the trees? Who does the trees? Who's the tree huggers? Lovers? People who love the forest? I can't remember. And I like trees. Don't get me wrong. I really like trees. My wife is absolutely allergic to trees, though. We were driving to church yesterday. We're driving on Ransom Road. This is in Huntersville, cutting through to Gilead, just like we're cutting through a parking lot. And she sees the buds on the trees. And she grabs me. Justin, my allergies are going to come soon. They are budding earlier. Not as early as last year, but is it vegetation? The stuff inside the tree that makes it have a baby? That part is now sprouting. I'm seeing it in Huntersville. $594,000 average active list price for a property in Iredell County. Let's see. 594,000. So haven't broke 600,000, but we're on our way. It's just continuing to go up. 18 new listings today in Mecklenburg County. I've said it before. That number is extremely small. You're talking about a county with a substantial population. I mean, is it reasonable for a place to have 18 new listings that has a documented population of 1.1 million? Mecklenburg County, 1.1 million people, only 18 new listings on the market today. I enjoy doing random searches, you know what I mean, on the MLS. So I am a realtor. I am a broker. I don't represent clients like out and about. I don't do that anymore. I am on the MLS board, but I don't go out and show buyers and sellers property, right? The radio station, though, believes in the local MLS, the concept of the market. And so the radio station is a member. It has a firm license as a member of Canopy MLS. So very strong belief in the power of brokers, the MLS, realtors. The concept of realtor right now, if you're involved in the market at all, and what will a realtor be in the future, all that legal stuff, that's a conversation for a different day. I have that conversation. There's plenty of episodes on that, WSICnews.com, wherever you get your podcast. You can go back and listen to some of those episodes. I don't want to beat a dead horse on that one at this point. Probably shouldn't beat dead horses at all, though, right? Like, it's not just like on one particular matter. It's probably on all things. We shouldn't beat dead horses. I don't know. Is that weird to say? Oh, well. So sometimes I like to do random searches. And I set up a search for somebody recently just to kind of get a feel. Because, okay, if the average price is $700,000, I started thinking about, though, okay, but what are people making in the marketplace? $700,000 is what sellers are asking on average. But for the local people here in jobs, and so let's say more realistically, a two-person house, a two-person household, let's say across the lake as a whole, let's say a max, and this is even a high number. I'm not saying this is a low number. 500,000. Let's just say take even 500,000. Let's chop off 200,000 from the average and just go to 500,000, and find out how many actual properties, units are available in that number. Again, because Mecklenburg County is a place with a population of 1.1 million people. So if I put into Canopy MLS right now, I just did it. Coming soon, which is basically the concept of, hey, it's represented by a brokerage firm. It is not yet open to the public to come in and view. However, we are notifying you, public, that this property is becoming available very shortly. And actively right now, you can go see it with a broker who is a member or non-member, depending on if they schedule with the other side, blah, 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 that unit today. 1.1 million population in Mecklenburg County. Keep that in mind. All of Canopy, if I search Mecklenburg County under $500,000, 917 matches. In Mecklenburg County, per Canopy MLS, right now, coming soon in active status, 500,000 or less, 917 properties. There is no supply. We are at negative month supply, by the way. Some of the stuff you hear, well, we're typically at this many months supply. The average, gosh, if I think back to, it's hard to even imagine average. Average is pre-COVID. Well, we're finally coming around to, in the post-COVID world, what is average. We don't like the average right now because there's zero supply and umpteen demand. It's like a tease. It's like a mirage. You know when you're on an island? Or have you ever been on an island by yourself? No, I haven't. I left a friend one time on an island on the lake. That's another conversation for another day. But if it's like being able to see like this glory of gold, the leprechaun at the end of the rainbow, but you can't take it, you can't touch it. Or if you're like in the middle of the ocean and you, I'm gonna get a little swiggle of water here. Gotta hydrate. I've been reminded of that. You're in the middle of the ocean, you can't drink the salt water. You know that, right? Like that'll dehydrate you more. So you're around all this water. You're around all these buyers. Residential, commercial, rental, retirees, everything. But you have no supply. You cannot sell it because every deal structure is a battle. I'm not saying adversarial. I'm saying it's a battle like almost with your own client, right? It's got to be at this point. Hey, you're unrealistic. You're unrealistic. And is it really going to do sellers good in this market? Is it going to be a positive effect of the market? The more sellers that ask for a crazy price? I mean, are they asking for a crazy price? There's only 917 listings. That's bonkers to me right now. Keep in mind, the population for Mecklenburg County, 1.1 million, 500,000 or less in Mecklenburg County, active or coming soon right now in the market, 917 listings total. Woo! We got to build some houses. New construction is the place for deals right now, though. So there is the X factor of this is, does this include every single unit of every new construction neighborhood? No. That's the X factor. And obviously those properties that aren't being marketed. Oh, yeah. Saw this preview during the Super Bowl. I hadn't seen it before that.
From 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, the rain is back for our Monday, on and off as we start the first part of the day, but getting a little heavier by this afternoon and this evening. High temperatures in the upper 50s for today. Overnight, a shower could linger into early Tuesday morning. Then we're drying it out, but getting windy for Tuesday. Winds could gust upwards of 30 to maybe 40 miles per hour throughout the day. We'll have some sunshine back and high temperatures in the mid-50s. Typically cool by the time we get to Valentine's Day. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Stay dry today. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Merlefest is back. April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College, featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Enjoy barbecue, beers, and bikes? Come by Max Speed Shop every Thursday and Saturday now through April 13th for live music and great food. MaxSpeedShop.com. Want to attend the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd through the 25th. Looking to play some trivia with your four-legged friends Monday nights? Lucky Dog Bark and Brew has you covered. Trivia night, Mondays from 7 to 9. LuckyDogBarkandBrew.com. After selling out 2 performances last year at Kane Center for the Arts, Forever Young is back. Follow the unforgettable group of friends as they discover the greatest hits of all time. Forever Young, Kane Center for the Arts, Friday, February 16th, kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
No woman. No. Wait, is that a different song now? Same song. Yeah, just different verse. Different verse. That's the chorus is what I was singing. I'm musically inclined. Saw the preview for basically the Bob Marley film that's going to depict his life during the Super Bowl. But I've been told that it aired previous to that. But I'm removed. It comes out Valentine's Day. That's accurate. I do recall that in the Steel Trap. I can pull that fact out. One of the ads I saw, CoStar, a big real estate company. CoStar is a big real estate company. They're one of these conglomerates, multiple real estate entities underneath it. Apartments.com did a lot of commercials yesterday. That's another group. CoStar, though, who owns Apartments.com, right, is really the one who bought it. So CoStar is the big conglomerate in the commercial world. Residential is mostly processed through the brokerage community, which the licensing happens at the state level. And there are local MLSs where you are members of, and they handle the residential transactions. CoStar is the major player in the commercial space. If you've ever searched commercial property, you've probably done it on a website called LoopNet, LoopNet. That's where you can go for a lot of commercial property searches. It's not an MLS. Let me put it that way. You have to buy into it to be able to post and all this other kind of stuff. But they also own several other companies. They own Apartments.com. They own Homes.com. They own Land.com. Whew. Talk about the .com battles. Should have. Could go back in a time machine. I couldn't tell myself because I wasn't of age. Would that be weird? Like go back, hello, Dad. I am your son. Go that route with it? That could play. A lot of Alien commercials. I did catch that. For whatever reason, everyone is on board with the Alien conversation right now. A lot of commercials focused on that. But CoStar, talking about dropping a bunch of money. One of the publications, Inman, this I'm reading from Inman.com, INMAN. It's a major publication within the real estate industry. And so CoStar wanting to battle with Zillow. I said the word. Inside the brokerage community, if you really want to like make the skin of a broker jump or like a realtor, you just say that word around. Zillow. Ah! They freak out. Zillow's competition. Zillow isn't accurate though, in most of the sense. It's very, the Zestimate concept and the searching on the internet has diluted the marketplace and the value of a broker beyond what anybody ever imagined. And they did it for the dollar. Let's be very clear about that. At the time, it was bought into by a lot of people, including brokers, because of the reach factor. You see, the MLS was a sacred thing at one point. High level, if you go to the macro of the MLS, they're the keepers of the fairness of the market. They're the ones who want to present the most accurate picture of the real estate market. MLS has not been online forever. Well, duh, because the internet's not been around forever. But it used to be, you got like mailed the listings, like the MLS mailed the book. It was like the white pages or the yellow pages. You think about that, that was the form of the MLS way back when. And so brokers held a lot more of the relationship within their hands because they were a necessity. Now, over time, okay, should it be consolidated to one power? Shouldn't it just be about equal access? But now it's just a commodity. And here's the problem. The consumer, if you bought or sold a house recently, you're hurting if you don't have a good broker. You've got to have a great broker because the process, right, to navigate the waters right now, that's like send me into Taco Bell on the line and make you a cheesy gordita crunch without knowing anything. Do that. That's what your real estate transaction would look like if you don't have the top-notch brokers. And we've got relationships. 844-STUDIO-4 if you ever need it. That's just to call Bill and talk to him. Don't call right now asking for a broker. Now's not the time. You can do that later. WSICnews.com, you go on there, you can search for real estate, though, because we believe in local data. We pull the data directly from the MLS, and so we put it out there for you if you ever want it. Just what's going on in the marketplace. So you've got these companies battling at the top, right? The CoStar spending millions upon millions, billions of dollars in marketing fight. So that's actually the headline. CoStar to spend $1 billion on marketing in fight for Portal Crown. Crown the portal of searching. Zillow.com is their number one competition. Now, I will say it is unique in the commercial division. Again, apartments.com, land.com. That's not residential properties. But yet they are choosing a battle, really via homes.com, which is one of the ones CoStar owns, against Zillow, taking market share. These guys play 6D chess. It's not even really like 4D or 3D. 4D, right? That's one of the chess things I think you can play 4D chess. It's like up and down, deep. It's a whole thing. I haven't played chess in a while. I played it, actually, Noah's been trying to get me to play chess recently. But that's the level that these big players are playing. So you hear about these firms like BlackRock buying up real estate like crazy. That's the concern in the community. Everyone in the community is very concerned about that. Not everyone, but what you hear, the sense of it. The big companies are coming in and buying the market. They're going to price us out. We won't be able to afford our taxes. And then what are they going to do? They're going to take a big old poopy. They're just going to drop all the properties, take a big loss, and leave us peasants stranded. You had me until you say that like they're just intentionally dumping a bunch of properties. They don't want to lose money. But if your market isn't, one that's in an upward trajectory on its own, is it really the big bad company's fault? Like the big companies of the world aren't buying they didn't buy Peninsula. They don't own Northstone. They don't own Sterling Point. They don't own any other neighborhood in around the entire Lake Norman area. The Point. They didn't come in to buy the Point. Mallard Head. Shout out Mallard Head. A little golf action. Nice little golf course. A lot of golf courses right here. Shout out to the 500 Club also. You previously Larkin, now the 500 Club. So these big companies aren't coming in and buying up droves of neighborhoods here. So where did that come from? Where did that concept originate that all of a sudden everybody's so fearful that these major companies are going to come through and buy up all the property? No one's going to be left. You don't have to sell your house. You don't have to. But what if somebody wants to? Uh-oh. Is that okay? I'm heading down the dark path again. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I'm heading down the path of, well, if you want to preserve it, buy it. That's not a friendly way to do things. Seems like Alexander Farms is going to be picking back up sometime soon. I hope the hills still exist whenever we get the actual snowpocalypse that we've all been predicting, because those are some mondo hills. Golf courses are also a fave. I'm not telling you to do something illegal and trespass. Don't hear that. This is never any legitimate advice that you should take from me whatsoever. Should probably start clarifying that even more. At some point, someone's going to start believing me. So I'm just going to come in one next show and just start reading War of the Worlds and see if that really happens. So I don't know, dude, spending millions and millions of dollars. The concept of buying the ads on the Super Bowl is purely reach. So real estate company coming in for reach and searching at a time. I mean, yeah, we're leading into spring. So the traditional sense is that we're going to see a pickup here over the next couple of months. Not saying that's not going to happen. But at this point, are we willing to have any conversation that doesn't have an actual effect of moving the needle? Like, can we just play for fun right now, or do we have to move the needle in some type of quantifiable, I want to see it way? Are we going to be satisfied with anything less? That question actually presents a problem if we aren't satisfied, if that's what it's going to take. If we only have a one-track mind, how can you really prepare for the future? Because you're only focused on your current goal. You're not thinking long-term. Because it will take years to catch up. If we were to try to catch up right now, which I don't believe we can, it would take years of runway of supply. Senator Tillis announced billions of dollars connecting Richmond to Raleigh. I'm not saying like, oh, Justin, you're naive. It's going to happen overnight. You think it's going to happen overnight? No. It may take 25 years. But once you let the genie out of the bottle, which has happened here in North Carolina, the growth is not going to stop. So what do we need to do? Preserve our wonderful way of life. The reason why people are moving here today, we want that still to be felt decades from now. We want that in our area. So how do we do that? I don't necessarily believe it's like cut spending everywhere. We're going to need to spend more money. Waste is a different conversation. Waste is a completely different conversation than what's the amount we spend. Because if you put the right amount in the line and then it doesn't get spent on the item, that's waste. If you're actually spending dollars on it and you're still seeing a need, doesn't that indicate you need more? Management. It always comes back. I always end up on management again. And what do I say? Two rules I've got in life. Everything you read on the internet is true, and the government is the best manager there ever was. And that's what we do. Let's put our faith in the government to grow our need of real estate. We don't even need them because there's already a need. And it's not the big bag. It's not because of the big bag conglomerate companies buying all the properties. It's because you made this place so great. You did that. Pat yourself on the back. You just made it unaffordable for the next generation. No, that's not true. It still comes down to jobs, though. It will always come down to jobs. So how do we get more high-paying jobs? But then you got to have, like, not everyone can make the same amount. We know that, right? Like, economically, if everyone made the same amount, it would cause issues. There's countries in South America, right, that have inflation, isn't like $1 million something worth like $1 in US dollar? They have those kind of places. It's like monopoly money. This is the secret. Everyone just chill out, man. Are we going to see property rights change as far as the ability of to growing particular crops at some point in North Carolina? I'm telling you, you walk in some of these stores, it's like the rules have already been passed. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Coming back.
Well, the rain is back for our Monday on and off as we start the first part of the day, but getting a little heavier by this afternoon and this evening. High temperatures in the upper 50s for today. Overnight, a shower could linger into early Tuesday morning. Then we're drying it out, but getting windy for Tuesday. Winds could gust upwards of 30 to maybe 40 miles per hour throughout the day. We'll have some sunshine back and high temperatures in the mid-50s. Typically cool by the time we get to Valentine's Day. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Stay dry today. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Okay, 3 more climbers, 7 loggers.
Ted's sustainably sourced logging company is growing a new branch,
What about truck driver contracts?
which means a new HR manager will be the first hire to fall.
Then we'll need to staff up the warehouse.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy? And you get unlimited 5G data, $25 a line for 4 lines on the unlimited plan, at an amazing price, with no contracts. Should you switch to Total by Verizon? Definitely. Find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Monthly rate when you activate without a pay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
6701 Carmel Road, Suite 110, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28226. Scott Trout, licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, this is Joshua Dobie. Join me Thursdays at 4 p.m. for Dollars and Cents, a show that focuses on your personal financial journey and the markets around us. That's Dollars and Cents, Thursday afternoons at 4, here on WSIC.
Johnson's Parts and Supply, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store, carries Wagner brakes as well as gates, belts, and hoses. They also make their own hydraulic hoses. Johnson's Auto Parts, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store, 1112 Shelton Avenue, Statesville.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Tesla has a new automotive partner of sorts. In a bid to boost its own EV ambitions without the cost of building its own charging network, Chrysler and Jeep owner Stellantis is joining several other automakers, saying it will adopt Tesla's EV charger connector in the U.S. starting next year. Tesla also is cutting prices for its Model Y rear-wheel drive and long-range all-wheel drive electric cars from now until the end of the month. Visa is extending its digital wallet capabilities within Visa Commercial Pay. The B2B payment solution enables financial institutions to add virtual corporate cards to an employee's digital wallet. The enhancement also allows third-party wallets like Apple Pay and Google Pay. And starting today, Dunkin' is launching its Dun Kings menu, featuring a limited-time selection of foods and drinks named after Ben Affleck and his pop star persona from last night's Super Bowl commercial with wife Jennifer Lopez. The Dun Kings menu will include munchkins on a skewer and Affleck's favorite iced coffee. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
Now, more of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Stand up for your right. Come on, y'all. Stand up. Stand up for your right.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Welcome in. Welcome to the session. We're hanging out, talking about the markets, 844 Studio 4. I don't think we ever catch up on supply. You can call in and berate me if you want to. 844-788-3464. Hottest markets overall from usnews.com. This is nuts. This is nuts. All right. Denver, Colorado reached the hottest market overall. With what the stat they're using is called a housing market index. And they're just comparing things. They're just comparing a bunch of different factors. It's a formula that U.S. News makes in their real estate division to basically say, based on this, we're saying these are the best real estate markets. And I guess I shouldn't be super surprised. This is from today, 2:45. Wow, this is just from a little bit ago. They just literally released this about 45 minutes ago. Number 1 in the country, Denver, Colorado. 74.8. That's the highest score on the list that out of this, again, housing market index that U.S. News makes up. Number 2 market in the country, Raleigh, North Carolina. 73.7. So for you finance bros out there, that's about a 1.1 delta. Virginia Beach, Virginia was number 3. 73.2. That one's closing in on Raleigh. Maybe, depending on previous reports of the housing market index. Number 4, Durham, North Carolina. So now we got 2 North Carolinas. I thought Raleigh and Durham were like the same. Are they that different? Or is this just a way we can manipulate data? I don't know. I'm just asking. Durham, North Carolina, 72.8. After that, Charlotte, North Carolina. So of the top 5 on this usnews.com hottest markets overall report that came out 45 minutes ago, 4 out of the top 5. No, excuse me. My math's off. 3 out of the top 5 North Carolina markets. Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte. You think Raleigh and Charlotte ever get along? Like if you could visualize, make an illustration, preferably video, of Raleigh and Charlotte sitting in a room working their stuff out. That'd be cool. It's better to work together. We're not that different. We've got so much in common. Like people are moving there, people are moving here. Let's talk over a burrito or a hot dog or a cheeseburger. I didn't have a cheeseburger today. I said no. At lunch, I did good. I'm trying to work on it. I had the turkey and avocado sandwich on whole wheat. It was good. Isn't that like a California? Isn't that California? Anything with avocado, I think you can call California. Let's grow avocados in North Carolina. What's up with farmers these days? Pretty vital sector. Election coming up. I think the Iredell County election has everything to do with farming. I mean, I really do. There's a lot of farmers in Iredell County. There's some in Meck, don't get me wrong, but Iredell County, y'all got some farmers. Y'all out here farming. I love it. Does the next generation want to farm? I think that's got to be part of the conversation, right? Because if you want farming to be a substantial sector, there's got to be farmers. And if you're going to keep farmers engaged, they got to make money. You can't do, I mean, some people will do it as a passion project, and that's cool. But like a familial hobby is different than a business. And so what's the future of farming for Iredell County? And the surrounding. You know, Davie County, you got a lot. Catawba County, you got farming. Love a good forestry division. Forestry tax exemption. It's pretty cool in North Carolina. So how do we make this equation work? We also have to consider the future of farming. We want farmers. Look, if the world goes, you just want to play some videos of Biden the rest of the show so you guys can see what the future looks like? Is that what you want to do? Then let's have a conversation about what we should be planning for. We need to all be building bunkers. It's not just the celebrities of the world that should be building bunkers. We should all be allowed. Could you imagine in the land use code if you could dig like subterranean move dirt for like without a permit? The sole exception is a self-made bunker. Could you imagine people with excavators digging bunkers out here without a permit? Gosh, I could see it. I would do it just for fun. Can I call that a man cave still? Chicks like that though too. It's not just a dude thing. Some people are into it. It's like sports, right? Same thing. It's for everybody. 3 out of the top 5 cities from this usnews.com report put North Carolina on the map as the hottest U.S. housing markets. And again, I'll say it. I don't believe we ever catch up on supply. Now, willingness to continue manage. I think you're going to see, and I'm not the first one to say this. I felt like in my mind for a moment there, I was going to break this news. We are seeing one of the largest transitions of wealth happen before our eyes. If you're a boomtanger, if you're a boomer, you know what I'm talking about right now. You don't have a major succession plan in place for your business. And so you're looking to find who the next person is. An expert on this is who's up next, Joe Vagnone. Business broker, local biz now. Been doing the show for 10 years. if anybody knows what's going on currently with existing business owners, he does. And so his show up next, 4 to 5, every Monday, directly after today's Real Talk. And so you can check that out. I think that's part of what we're seeing. We're seeing a generational shift. Should have bought, like, instead of buying NVIDIA, like, and doing, like, a match on, is Pelosi a senator or is she a House of Representative? She's a House of Representative, right? I think she's House of Representatives because Senator Schumer is always on that side when they're standing next to each other, looking like the Addams family. So she bought NVIDIA stock, right, which is up like I think $1 billion. I don't know if you've seen this or not. She's up a lot of money on that buy. I would have wanted to buy the real estate NVIDIA sits on. How about that? I doubt they rent though. Hey, NVIDIA, you make, I don't know, a few $1 billion a year. How about you rent property? Could you imagine? Do you think everyone will have that, live the American dream in 30 years? Is that still, owning real estate will be part of the dream. It just will feel like a farther distance. You got to jump in, man. You got to jump in. I don't know if you want to stay here forever. That's also something I think about too. We're such a unique anomaly locally. How many places are like this? You got a massive lake, which is cool, but a lot of people around here haven't been on the lake. I just like that people wave with all 5 fingers here locally. Am I alone? That's like just a nice thing. Like, nice people make a cool spot. Was in downtown Mooresville over the weekend. Saw Little Women put on by Mooresville's Children's Theater. It happened at the Charles Mack Citizen Center in downtown Mooresville. Went to a little spot after, had a little adult juice, and it was a good time. In downtown Mooresville, I rated the downtowns this morning on Good Morning LKN. I put Mooresville at number 1. And hey, that's as a Corntown resident. Let me be clear. And who did I put at number 2? Statesville. So for those who think I never give Statesville love, you're wrong. I just wish your businesses in Statesville were open later than 8:30. That's the only difference. Because the few times I go out in a month, and I don't go out often because I've got a 5-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter, so I don't go out very often. But when my wife and I do, we like to go to places for like a later, type setting. And I'm not saying loud. I'm definitely not like, look, you ain't going to find me like this is the epicenter at Club Suite in 2011. You know what I mean? Like, you're just not going to find me there like that anymore. It's not going to happen. But like a nice, quiet place to have a drink with some friends? Yeah, that's probably the stage I'm at right now. Just trying to get some sleep, though, as much as I can. How do I do that? Knowing that my streets are safe. Crime? See that pivot? I just pivoted right to it. Let me go into the talking points. What's going on at the Tennessee border? Absolutely nothing. But that's the scare headline I could use. What if we see that soon? North Carolina, Tennessee beefing. Is it Texas versus all, or do we resolve the whole, like, who's friends and who's not? Because we're all kind of like individual states, but one country. It's kind of cool. We all got opinions. Like, who's North Carolina's cousin? Can we say South Carolina is our sibling? And then who else is our cousin? I don't know. Who we most like? Tennessee's probably pretty close, right? Maybe like a distant cousin. But they're like next to us, but like close enough like to see them on Thanksgiving, but not so close like we got to have like a weekend beef Wellington. I don't know. 844 Studio 4. I'm off my rocker today. Yeah, some of the headlines as far as when you read real estate, it's just depressing across the country in some aspects. At least they're trying to make it seem like it. Like there's no hope. There is hope. You live in one of the greatest places in the world right now. It's just, what are we going to do to protect the future? That's what we need to have a conversation about.
Keep it right here. Today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the rain is back for our Monday on and off as we start the first part of the day, but getting a little heavier by this afternoon and this evening. High temperatures in the upper 50s for today. Overnight, a shower could linger into early Tuesday morning. Then we're drying it out, but getting windy for Tuesday. Winds could gust upwards of 30 to maybe 40 miles per hour throughout the day. We'll have some sunshine back and high temperatures in the mid-50s. Typically cool by the time we get to Valentine's Day. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Stay dry today. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Merlefest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College, featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Enjoy barbecue, beers, and bikes? Come by Max Speed Shop every Thursday and Saturday now through April 13th for live music and great food. MaxSpeedShop.com. Want to attend the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd through the 25th. Looking to play some trivia with your four-legged friends Monday nights? Lucky Dog Bark and Brew has you covered. Trivia night, Mondays from 7 to 9. LuckyDogBarkandBrew.com. After selling out 2 performances last year at Kane Center for the Arts, Forever Young is back. Follow the unforgettable group of friends as they discover the greatest hits of all time. Forever Young, Kane Center for the Arts, Friday, February 16th, kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. I was curious yesterday, and Demi even asked too, because she saw the Sphere while we were watching the Super Bowl. What was playing inside of the Sphere during the Super Bowl? Or did they just not have a show because the Super Bowl was going on? Could you watch the Super Bowl from inside the Sphere last night? That would be bonkers. I don't even know how you would do that. Like, it would just be like back and forth. Like, you would vomit. I mean, I think you'd vomit. That would probably happen. I'm nervous if I ever went to the Sphere. I don't know why. It kind of makes me like, ugh. What would that? It's like almost too much inside. There's this game at the bowling alley here in Huntersville. What is it, Spare Time? Used to be North Cross Lanes. There's an arcade in there, and Noah and I have been there a couple times. So my son's 5, and he loves this game where you like step inside and you could see like everything's like, and you're laid back in a chair. And then they have also like Centipede, the old game, or Asteroids, but it's on like this Mondo screen, like 20 feet tall and 10 feet wide. And it's absolutely stimulating. Too much so, even for me as an adult. So the Sphere, instant vomit. That's what you would do. Pretty confident. Forbes.com has an article out as well. Will the housing market crash in 2024? Now this is 2 months after they wrote. They wrote this at the end of the year in 2023. Because, you know, the predictions, there's always the predictors. There's always the people who would utilize a VPN in North Carolina but no longer will in March. And that's because, well, it's going to be legal. But here were some of the bets. Here were some of the conversations. Okay, so what would a recession mean for the housing market if it were to occur? What would happen? And a lot of the conversation deals with percentages. Housing prices will drop by 20%. If you take some averages, you look at what happened in 2008. 2008 was very different, though. We have to remember that. Because if anybody who tries to compare this to 2008, they don't really know what happened in 2008. Here was the issue in 2008. You would go see a lender, you would go see a broker, you'd find a house you'd like. The lender, what they would do is they would take this mirror and they would hold it in front of your mouth and your face. And they would say, hey, take a breath for me, would you? Oh, wow, look, there's fog. Congratulations, you've been approved. That's what 2008 was. So you had people getting loans that had no business getting loans. Fast forward to 2020 with COVID. There was a real effect of municipalities across the country making decisions and telling people what they could and could not do, affecting what we call in the Constitution your liberty. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Liberty is your freedom to walk around in your skivvies if you want to. And so when places started taking those rights away, people began looking for other places to live. Well, wait a second. It makes sense. You're telling me I can't do what I want to do. To an extreme level, right? Like I don't need to rehash code. We remember it still, right? It does feel like a lifetime. Where the more time that passes, it gets kind of weirder. Every day that passes farther away from it. Like it never happened. It was only 4 years ago. 4 years ago this month. Not February. Well, technically February, March, right? Isn't that when it started? When did we bend the curve? Or when did we stop the curve? You remember that? Yeah. I know you remember that. But now, thinking then to the difference. The regulation after 2008 all changed. You had to be well qualified to get a real estate loan from a real lending institution. There's always going to be the dirty game of some subprime loans and private lending and all this other stuff. Yeah. But traditional, you want to go to your big banks. You want to go to Wells Fargo. You want to go to Bank of America. You want to go to Quicken. Wherever you want to go. Traditional lending, the regulations are real. You have to show proof of income. You have to have a certain level of debt to income ratio. You have to have a particular credit score. It's a non-starter. So the people that were buying during 2020 and subsequently since, really we've been up only since 2012. Separate conversation for another day. The people in 2024, legitimate. And then you couple that with North Carolina, genie out of the bottle, people moving here from other states because they want quality of life, and they're selling their properties for way higher in these other markets and coming into North Carolina with cash. It just created this equilibrium adjustment. What's the new floor? That's what we're figuring out right now. What is the new floor? I don't think we're at the new floor. I just don't personally. North Carolina is going to shift as far as the type of person that lives here. The not being born here is becoming more and more the norm. I had the stat, I think a few weeks ago. I can't remember the publication. Over 50%, I believe. No, let me check that back. Yeah, a majority of people now, there's more people not from here than are from here in North Carolina. More people living here in North Carolina now that were not born here as compared to those that were born here still living here. That's a new number. That's flipped. So we're becoming now more of, this is the term everybody hates, a transient occupancy state. Some people are passing through. Not everyone that's here wants to be here forever. Just like a rental property, being concerned of a tenant taking care of it, as a lifelong resident, you may have concerns about the people that are moving here now. Do they care? Bippity boppity boo. I think they care. I don't think everybody cares. There are people that are from here that don't care. Let's be very clear about that. There are people that are born and raised, multi-generation North Carolinians that don't give a flippin' cahoot. Let's be honest. So what do we want? We want all the people that care, but we want to show the people who don't care how to care. We could do that too. I didn't even have. I did that. My sound was beep, a little different. This actually would. Yeah, this would have been. There's no. way that I would ever move to this place because of those people there. That's not what they say about us, though. See, I remember, the people from here, we wave with all 5 fingers. How do you convert? Is it red pill? Red pill was the one you want. You want to red pill people. Red pill them to kindness? Is that what we're going to try to do next? I probably shouldn't talk about any more pills. No, we'll save that for the pharmacists. Dr. Eastman and Dr. Fred. Fridays, Dr. Eastman from 3 to 4, Dr. Fred from 4 to 5. Check them out for the pills conversation. Me, what I'll stick to is real estate. It's up only. It's not going to stop. We broke the barrier. Average active list price of a home in Mecklenburg County, $700,000. 912 properties, either active or coming soon, listed in Canopy MLS in Mecklenburg County. 912. Keep in mind, the population of Mecklenburg County is 1.1 million. Whoo! Yeah, we need more supply. But I don't want more supply. More people will move here. It only gets worse if people are going to move here no matter what, because then you have no increased supply, thus the price just gets worse. It's just, and worse is relative, because if you own the house, you want price go up. But if you've got people you want to be able to buy into it, got to get them there. Got to figure it out. I don't have all the answers. I don't know. There's different stages of life, different seasons of life, and we need to be respectful of all of them. How we do that as a community, it's going to take a community. It's going to take a larger community than just an individual town or municipality or city or whatever the heck you classify yourself. Whatever the... Oh, I had it. Wait, let me start. Whatever you classify yourself as. That could get real dangerous. I don't need to be playing with that. Maybe more appropriate on the morning show. Good Morning LKN, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Mamie and Bill keep me in line most days. They do a pretty good job. I made it till like 7:22 this morning to not talk about food. Pretty good. Talked a little bit about lunch today. Not a whole lot. I'm very excited for the future of the culinary scene here in the Lake Norman area. We're finally getting to that variety point. I really am excited about that. It's good to have a good place to go hang out. I'm not talking about gorging. I'm not talking about mass consumption. I'm just talking about nice, different culinary things. There's some places culinary-wise, you get literally a little dollop of some gel on a plate, and it's like that's a whole meal. That's it. There's your steak dinner. Don't you eat that with a spoon. No, you eat that gel with a fork. See? You got to learn the different cultures. Cotillion was a thing for a while. Remember cotillion? You'd have to go and you have to learn how to place your silverware. Does that keep property values up? Nah. Maybe like a nicer restaurant, but if you're just eating in your house, no one's watching you. Property rights, pretty big deal. And as more projects are going to come forward, and they will, Mooresville has made it clear. They're publicly saying no more apartments. Mooresville's being very clear about that. They're not hiding the ball. They're trying to be crystal clear. Don't be bringing in a bunch more apartment complexes. Okay. A lot of people want to live in Mooresville right now. No issue in Mooresville. I like Mooresville a lot. Shout out to Josh's Farmers Market. Good dude. Farmers, see how I made it? I didn't even intentionally do that. I made it back to the farmers right there. Farming's the key. Can we make North Carolina fully self-sustainable? Is there an equation for that? Do we have energy enough here? We got natural gas, right? We don't have any oil, though. We'd have to barter on the oil? Trade some sweet potatoes? I don't know. Let me think about it. You've been listening to today's Real Talk. If you missed the episode or any other ones, WSICnews.com, wherever you get your podcast, wherever you watch your video. We live video stream every hour of content that we produce locally here. More local content than anybody. I love y'all. See you next week.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9, 100.7. WSIC, States